Greetings, humans! Hey, it's your old pal Bird here, and it's been a while since we've done one of these videos where we go back to Injustice 1 in anticipation of Injustice 2. Now, quite a while ago, we had official confirmation that both Cyborg and Catwoman would be in Injustice 2, but we really haven't seen much of them until today, and really only for Catwoman. But since we know Cyborg's in, I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about him. We're going to actually start with him first. Let's talk about how Cyborg was kind of a hot mess. Cyborg was basically a zoning character, right? He had his fireball, hits mid, so they either had to jump it or they had to block it. And you could do it in the air, and for a little bit extra meter, boom, you could cover both areas, and you could even do the same with this fireball. You could help cover the air if they tried to jump over. He also had this grapple hook move, which looks like it's coming back. There was a trailer, sorry, I forget which one, but showed a little bit of Cyborg, and we did see him fling himself back with the grapple hook. It was also nice as you could fall and fire your gun. Here's the real issue with Cyborg, though. Those are his combo strings. Those are not a lot of combo strings. Now, while he is a zoning character, there was a lot just about him that does not make sense for a zoning character. Like, look at the range of his moves. Okay, this is his back one. Barely moves him forward at all. Like, this forward two is pretty much the longest reaching move he has. He cannot cover space very well with his normals. And I get that he has the fireball, but you can't just rely on the fireball only. I mean, Superman was a zoning mess, and he even had the best forward two in the game. It covered all the space. So that complemented his projectile game. Now, as far as, like, what would you do? You had back three, and you could meter burn it for armor. That was about it. Believe it or not, there was a brief time where Cyborg was actually the best character in the game. This fireball that he has could be launched. Now, I'm not very good at doing instant fireballs when they have a back-forward motion, but if you fired them immediately from the ground, they still counted as mid-attacks. But as you notice now, they're highs. So even if the opponent was ducking them, they still would block them, and it was chip damage for days. So while he was broken, he got to be top tier. He got to be the best character in the game, and then they hotfixed it, and he went back into the garbage. There was really only one Cyborg player of note, Relaxed State, if you're interested in going back and looking through him. You know, really what Cyborg did was he pushed you away, and then he would shoot fireballs. That was kind of the plan. I mean, he had these, like, cool potential setups here, you know, with that overhead, and he did have a low starter in his back two, so he could do a little mix-up thing there. And he also had 1-2, and back two did this little thing. Oops, excuse me, I hit the touchpad by mistake. And then you could, you know, and again, that's good. It knocks him far away, and his back 1-2-3 string was very nice, and you could cancel that, do a fireball, knock him way away. And then, you know, do your setup and, you know, shoot him and possibly even convert that for a combo. So he had some real potential, but gosh, he didn't really get a lot of damage unless he was in the corner, which, let's be fair, everyone did. So he had to spend like 2 bars to get like 50%, you know, like something like this. And I didn't even get the meter burn. Yeah, you could get like 51%, but, you know, it took 2 whole bars. You know, Batgirl was getting that for 1 bar. But, you know, Batgirl was kind of broken, so it's all good. His trait was that he could heal himself, which sounds good, and he could even cancel out of it by dashing, but here's what kind of sucked. If you canceled the trait by dashing, you lost what, you know, you couldn't use all your trait. You canceled it immediately, it was gone. And as you can kind of tell, the recharge time didn't change at all either. You still had to wait the full time for your trait to recharge. So yeah, that kind of sucked. Super was kind of like anyone else's. It was basically useless because you could get way more damage by saving the meter for meter burn back threes and, you know, doing this and that and all that good stuff. Yeah, look at that, 25% for that little bit. And, you know, I could even do a little setup. So, again, Cyborg needs some help. He needs better normals that give him better reach and better control of space in addition to his fireball game if he's going to play that way. And I think in addition to his, you know, those things with his cool grappling hook, which hopefully down to up forward and down to up back will be changed. It's a little tricky to get those to go off. He'll hopefully be a brand new man, so to speak. All right, so let's move to Catwoman. So we're going to go over here, practice options too. Now, Catwoman had no projectile whatsoever. However, here's what made up for it. All the combo strings. All the combo strings. That is a ton of combo strings for one particular character. She also had exactly what a girl needs. Really long reaching forward one overhead and a nice back one low. And guess what? Both of those are coming back. So I'm going to be looking at the trailer that just came out today. And what I noticed is we definitely do start off the forward 1-1-2 string. Then she goes into some, like, I'm not sure if it's a new meter burn move. Because she, like, goes into the air and then she, like, dances around and meter burns and slams it back down. So it kind of looks like a variation of this, her back forward 1 cat claws, which was a cool move. And then she does this weird pose, which, you know, she's kind of like thrusting her palms up the air. And this move actually is part of a string. Back to 3. The 3 part of it is that pose. And I'm thinking, because then she leaps into the air and then hits him with the whip. This is the new forward 2, because watch this. Forward 2, up 3. Whoops, there's supposed to be a 1 there. Forward 2, up 3, 1. Pretty much looks like exactly what she does to Harley Quinn. Except, starting with that thrusting up palm. So I think that's going to be her new forward 2. But she'll still have this string as is. So we kind of get a forward 1-1-2. Some meter burn move. And then forward 2, up 3, 1. So that would be kind of a neat little thing, and it gets a nice hard knockdown. Now, if there was anything that Catwoman excelled at, it was getting a hard knockdown, getting in, and then doing meaty attacks. And we'll talk about one of her best strings here in a sec. Alright, so the next thing we see is that she runs up and she grabs Harley, and she does like this tornado DDT, or I'm not sure what the exact wrestling move is, but that is a sick looking throw. Here was the old one. Scratch, scratch, kick. Kind of boring. Here's the back version. Grabs him by the crotch. Okay, that's a little bit cooler. But still, not the greatest to throw. This new throw, that looks fun. Alright, so then we see she jumps off an interactable, makes it explode, and then the return of the cat dash, which you can meter burn to take an airborne opponent and essentially put them in a recapture state back on the ground. And then, of course, continue your combo from there. Which she decides to go into her Mighty Back 3. Which is going to be the exact same move it was in this game. She's going to get very low. It will go under a ton of shit. But just like this game, I bet it will be negative on block. However, it was only -3. That shit was safe. So you get this safe move that goes under shit and just lets her get in. No problem. So even though Catwoman didn't have a fireball, she can even use this cat dash from way over here, and if you need to burn it, bam, she was in your face. Yeah, so useful tools. Coming back, so then we watch Harley go through the transition. Boom, explosions, falls to the ground. Catwoman comes in, and then we get to see that she'll still have her same 1-2, and 1-2 back 3 is specifically the string we see. Goes into a low, gets you a hard knockdown, and of course that's when, you know, Wonder Woman, or excuse me, not Wonder Woman, my goodness, Catwoman gets to do her mix-up game. Alright, next we see her fighting Batman. She kicks him in the face with an interactable. Then she does what looks like 1-2 cat claws. It seems like they changed the animation for it a little bit, and it looks like instead of the meter burn version doing, oh, excuse me, my mistake, doing this, you know, extra hits and still does the bounce, and then you could do this, and spoiler alert, that strings that I just ended with is coming up. This is really crazy cool thing where she, does this whip thing, and I don't know, she might actually exit it out as something called cat stance. Let me watch this again. Right. No, it looks kind of like the cat stance thing, but but it's crazy. She jumps on Batman's face, claws his eyes out, kicks off, jumps back, grabs him with the whip, and then just slam punches him in the face. It's very cool looking. Then we see her fighting Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy gets in a little offense because people wanted to see what she can do. And then, oh, and then, we get to see what I think is her new trait. This was the old one. She get these cat scratches, and she did this automatic 5-hit combo. Did some extra damage. It was really good as a wake-up. It was safe on block and completely invincible. So that's what it ended up being used for, most of all. But looks like Summoning Iris is the new trait. And then we see this. We get to see all the glorious back 1, 2, down 3 string. Low, mid, low. It is excellent. And we also get to see she cancels that string into her cat stance, which allows her to get really low. And then she does the 3 follow-ups. So it looks like this. She claws, kind of kicks off. Yep, it's exactly the same. That probably also means she has the same follow-ups, where 2 is an up whip. Don't really know what that was used for, but I can tell you that the better Catwoman players would use this, the 1 follow-up in the corner, to get some better damage in their combos. You can see Star Charger. I believe it was Star Charger 28 was very good. Also 16-Bit, who I imagine was probably the one playing Catwoman for the trailer. And I imagine 16-Bit will also be the one who is showing her off tomorrow. So then we're fighting Batman again. And Batman's getting in some offense. We get to see this. Let me flip her around. Her Feline Evade. This would avoid high attacks. And I didn't actually pause the video when I did that. Okay. So this would evade high attacks, and then here's a really weird input. You'd do down back 2, and then you have to immediately hit up, and you'd be able to jump up. That little hop would get over some low attacks. If they're bringing that back, I hope they change the input. It was really tricky. Also, this did not avoid interactables. It would be really cool if this would avoid unblockable interactables or something. Flash, for example, his down back 1 evade would go through interactables, so that was a nice little tool he had. Alright, so then we see she runs over Batman with the bike, and then she does a new whip attack, and it kind of looks like this, which is down, forward, and 3 at the same time, which goes low. I think this new attack goes low, but instead it grabs them by the ankles instead of tripping them. And it looks like you can meter burn it, because she does this dominatrix thing where she steps on Batman and meter burns it and does it twice. It kind of looks pretty cool, to be frank. And then she's back to fighting Harley, and one of the neatest things, looks like she has almost this dive kick. It's totally not in this game, but you can cancel it into her cat dash, which she does, and then she does an interactable thing, and then gets it back 3, and then does this. 1-4-2. Which is the hardest of knockdowns. And it was one of the great enders that she had. If I can actually hit it, that would be excellent. Because they could dash up and you could meaty the hell out of people. Despite the fact that, attacks were super, super invincible on wake up. This would meaty the fuck out of people. And of course, you could also go for the forward 1 overhead and get that same meaty timing. It was incredible to watch Catwoman just destroy people who tried to wake up against her. But after that super hard knockdown, she activates her new super where she, goes around on the bike and blah, blah, blah. Catwoman's going to play essentially the same as she does in this game. A lot of her strings are looking to return, but it looks like she's going to have a new forward 2. And, wow, this back 3 is going to be a problem. Watch out for it. She can still meter burn it and basically get in for free. And I imagine her cat dash will still be meter burnable in neutral so that she can quickly get in. And then, of course, if she gets a good read on you, she gets to follow up for a combo. Into the hard knockdown, into her mix-up game, and then you just do it all again. So that is Cyborg and Catwoman kind of in a nutshell. I'll be back, of course, as more characters get announced. I do think I would like to talk a little bit about Green Lantern and Green Arrow in the future. Hopefully by next week. So I will see you then. Take care.